Good evening. Thank you for joining One Temple Fitness Temple Talk for September 2016. Tonight, we will be talking from the topic, A Fresh Start, Tips on Healthy Eating. We will go over what One Temple Fitness is. We'll have a brief reflection, talk about food and mood, healthy eating tips for success, and we also have a short demo for you on how to make a recipe, and then we'll be taking questions. So One Temple Fitness is based out of 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 17. Don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy that person. For God's temple is sacred, and you together are that temple. So the vision for One Temple Fitness is to maintain the mind, body, and spirit through engaging monthly conversations, such as our Temple Talks, and group workouts. And if you're in the LA area, they are free on the third Saturday. This is achieved by stimulating the mind, strengthening the body, and stretching the spirit. So today we're going to have a reflection. So take out your journals or a piece of paper. And as you reflect on the questions that I'm about to read, I want you to meditate as you get into the space to hear God's voice and obey his word. I encourage you to listen to what he is saying to you about how you've been maintaining your temple. So I want you to reflect on, what is your relationship with food? What do you tend to eat when you are happy, sad, or content? How has your relationship with food contributed to your overall well-being? And reflecting on this, does your relationship with food need to change? So I just want to give you a couple of minutes to write that down. And also, here's a good time to just say that Temple Talks is changing this year. In the past, was very interactive, and it was 2 hours. This time, we really encourage you to take the message and the questions and reflecting your own quiet time. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to us. So today's Food and Mood Part 1, to understanding the impact of food on your body, we are going to discuss food and mood. First, we're going to define food. What is food? Food is fuel to the body that is ingested, also known as sustenance. Mood is defined as emotional states described through feeling words such as anxious, angry, bored, confident, content, depressed, elated, exhausted, frustrated, happy, hopeful, thrilled, etc. And so understanding the definitions of food and mood brings us to the point of, why is it important to understand the differences that food has on our mood? And it is important because dietary changes can bring about changes in our brain structure, chemically and physiologically, meaning changing the brain structure, which can lead to altered behavior. So essentially, if you want to improve your mood, you can start by changing your diet. And part 1 today, we're going to just focus on choosing smart carbohydrates. So low-carb diets were found to enhance fatigue and reduce the desire to exercise in overweight adults just after 2 weeks. Also, tryptophan, which is a non-essential amino acid, synthesizes more serotonin, which is a hormone, when it enters the brain. Serotonin is a natural mood regulator made in brain, and fish and vitamin D increases these levels. So fish and vitamin D are very good for you. Tryptophan levels can be increased by eating more carbs, but choose smart carbs like whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Again, smart carbs are also known as whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes, which also contribute important nutrients and fiber. In addition, carbohydrates provide us with the ability to concentrate and focus. Now, you may be wondering, How does carbohydrates help you concentrate and focus? Well, the adequate supply of energy comes from blood glucose, which flows to the brain. Glucose is also vital to fuel muscles. In addition to the aforementioned healthier carbs, lower fat dairy is also a good source of nutrients. And the little icon to the right, I want you to look at. It says avocados lowers bad cholesterol, reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease. The elimination of plaque buildup increases blood flow. Blueberries, in studies, this antioxidant-rich food has shown in studies that it may protect the brain from cell-damaging free radicals, as well as reduce the effects of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. They are also believed to improve learning and muscle function. Whole grains are an excellent choice of food as they provide dietary fiber as well as vitamin E. And raw carrots, our brains, which rely on glucose to function, receive a steady level of it from raw carrots. So today's main takeaways: reflect on your relationship with food because it does impact your mood. Your mood can change by changing your diet. Healthy carbohydrates are a great way to increase serotonin levels in your brain, which will improve your mood, as well as healthy carbohydrates increase concentration, enabling us to feel more productive in our days. So, as I always like to say, change your mind and your whole world changes. So this is Dr. Rogers signing off, and Erin will now go into our second part.
Alrighty, so with knowing that definitely how we eat impacts our mood and also can alter how our brain and our bodies are functioning, let's bring it down to a practical level. So I'm going to be talking about what you can do from day to day. So here's some basic tips. The first thing that I want to go over is just like basic things that you should know about things you should continue to do if you're already doing it, and some things that you might want to cut out or eliminate from your day-to-day food activities. So, of course, for the do section, you want to eat clean. And what I mean by clean is when people say this word, what's grown from the earth, okay? So it's not processed. It didn't have to go through a machine or put chemicals in it. So that would include vegetables, fruits, nuts, things of that nature. So you want to eat as clean as possible. Water is essential. It makes up our body. It allows for us to not get headaches. It allows to give us energy. It cleanses it out. So making sure that you're really drinking enough water. Most articles and research say that at least 8 cups of water. But if you really look into the research, it's based off of your weight. And so if you look online, you can research based on your weight how much water you should be intaking each day. Another thing to think about, a lot of people might eat healthy, but due to their lifestyle, their work schedules, things like that, they actually skip meals. And so it's so important, like we said before, food is our energy, that we're eating often or putting enough fuel in our body. So this is just a recommendation. Once again, this can be altered for your own personal needs. But for me personally, what has worked for me is I like to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Now, that's not me eating huge meals every 2 to 3 hours, but I'm putting some type of fuel into my body, whether that's carrots, whether that's celery with peanut butter on it, granola bar, but I'm putting some type of fuel in my body, and I'm trying to eat at least 2 large meals. I like to eat my large meals. Definitely lunch is an important one because it's our main part right in the middle of the day that can give us tons of energy. But I like to eat a good hearty breakfast in the morning. And then dinner, if I'm having it, it's not as big as those other 2 meals because I want to burn that off. Get plenty of sleep. They recommend at least 8 hours, 6 minimum. If you're getting less than that, you definitely want to look into that. And then follow the healthy plate. Healthy plate is, remember, the replacement for the pyramid, but it lets us know what our plate should look like. If you really look at it, a lot of it is our vegetables and our fruit should make up the majority of our plate. It should be green, as people say. Your plate should be mostly green. Things that you should not do is processed food. Processed food means if you look at the ingredients, if you can't say half of the things on there, that probably lets you know that that sucker was processed. So if you cannot pronounce the ingredients in that food, it's not clean, it has been processed. So at least the first 5 ingredients, when you're looking at the nutrition facts on the back of something, should say raw sugar, flour, wheat, things like that. But if it's triglyceride, all those types of words that you can't pronounce, it's probably processed. Fried food, we want to avoid that. High sugar and sodium, the way we can find that out is making sure we're reading the back of our items that we're purchasing. Heavy carbs. The reason why a lot of times people avoid carbs is because if we do not work out, those carbs can turn into fat. Carbs are a great source of energy, but we can only use those carbs if we are for sure working out. So if you're an Olympian athlete, you can eat all the pasta and bread that you want because you're burning that sucker off. If you're not, we want to stay away from it. And like I said earlier, we cannot skip meals. It's so important that we're giving our body the fuel that we need. So with that being said, if all my friends and family know that once I got on the meal prep train, I haven't gotten off of it. So it's huge. It's key. So if you fail to plan to fail, suggests new research published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. In a recent study, 1,319 adults were asked about the amount of time they spent preparing, cooking, and cleaning up after meals. Of the respondents, 16% said that they spent less than 1 hour on food prep, 43% said that they prepped for 1 to 2 hours, and 41% said they prepped for 2 hours a day or more. So these, although the numbers are there, they're not huge numbers, right? It's not like 80% of people are prepping for 2 hours a day. So it's leaving us to wonder, what are folks doing? And so if folks are not preparing their food, are they eating out? Are they skipping meals? Those are the things that we want to start thinking about. So why is it important when you don't meal prep? Certain things can occur. We can eat out more, right? Or we end up choosing maybe unhealthy options. So like fast food. So we definitely want to make sure that we're prepared to eat healthy. We can end up spending more money than we expected to. Being tempted, especially in our workplace. I don't know about y'all, but working in schools and things of that nature, pizza, donuts, candy, chips, soda are always around. And it's easier for me to say no to something because I can put something in my stomach versus if my stomach is growling and someone says, hey, Aaron, you want to have a donut? I might say, yeah, I want that donut because I'm hungry. So you can get tempted more easily. And then once again, if you are not prepping, it can lead for you either overeating. That means once you get home, you're so starving that you end up eating more than you actually need, or skipping meals. So even before the process should begin, you should make sure that you're actually set up for success. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have Tupperware, because you can make all these wonderful meals. If you have nothing to put it in to bring it to work, you might end up leaving it in the refrigerator because it's taking too much time for you to get it ready for the day. I don't know about you, but sometimes I run so late that I need something where I just grab it from the refrigerator and I go. So buying Tupperware, making sure that you create a plan. So if you're going to do chicken breast, rice, and asparagus, you need to buy those items and make sure that you have it ready to prep it. So make a list and stick to it. I have, Jamel, she takes sometimes less than an hour. She can make a meal in 30 minutes and have it ready. Depends on what you want to prepare. So if you want to prepare something that looks like this picture, you want to designate 1 to 2 hours. If you're okay with basic rice, chicken, and some microwavable veggies, you need 30 minutes. And that's all you need. So just depending on your preferences. And then, like I said, if you're like, oh, it takes too much time, if that's one of the excuses, then just keep it simple. Keep it simple. So some sample meals, and you'll have access to this. We'll upload it. So don't worry if you're trying to write all this down. But these are some things that you can do. I try to mix it up to have something that's super doable to something that if you had a little bit more time, you can make these items. So some things to highlight underneath for the morning meals. You can do something ranging as instant oatmeal if you wanted to a protein muffin with yogurt. Everything that's on this list, the main thing that you want to do is still make sure that it's close to clean. because even when I say oatmeal, I'm not talking about the maple syrup instant oatmeal, because you look on the back of that sucker, it's probably gonna have high sugar. So I'm talking about the steel oats type of deal, and you add the fruit to make it taste good. So with these items, still try to make it as close to clean and healthy as possible. As for snacks, you can make some tuna, even with, I don't know how you prepare your tuna, but I even got an olive oil mayo, which is a healthier version. And you can make your tuna and just have some whole wheat crackers to scoop that out. That's a good snack, ranging to fruit and dry fruit. So these are some things that you can pack for the day. And a great place that has pre-made stuff is Costco. For lunch and dinner are almost the same. If you make enough at dinner, you can have it the next day for lunch. So these can kind of be interchanged. But for lunch, you can have something like a turkey wrap with carrots, or you can do a tuna salad with granola on the side. And then as for dinner, you can do things such as healthy ground turkey tacos to a spinach lasagna with a side salad. These are some things that you can do for the meals. So some spotlight recipes. The only way that you can figure out if it works for you is you have to try it. You can't go through here and say, this is all fancy. There's no way I have enough time, or I don't have the skill set. Just try it out on a weekend and see if you can work. But that's what I ended up doing. Is I actually didn't have a lot of ingredients in my house. And I was like, but I do have protein powder. So protein pancakes is a great way to have the protein that you need, give you the energy, but it's healthy as well. So as you can see, there's not that many ingredients, and most of these things we already have in the house. Okay, another thing is the stuffed peppers. So I tried this out actually this past week. This is another great thing that didn't take me too long. It was delicious, and it was good for me. So once again, the ingredients are here. All you need is 3 large peppers, 1 package of ground turkey. You just cut up green onions and red onions, and you cook the meat in it. Then you have 3 cups of quinoa. The quinoa that I used was microwavable. Once again, I'm trying to make it quick and easy for me. 1 can of tomato sauce or pasta sauce, 3 cups of the low-fat mozzarella cheese, and then 4 cups of kale. And pretty much what you do is you just cook the meat with the onions. Once that's ready, then you just, and the microwavable rice is ready, you add the sauce, the meat, and the quinoa in like a bowl. And then you just you cut a hole in the peppers, clear it out of the seeds and all that. And you pretty much you stuff it with the mixture, and you put it into the oven for, it said for an hour. I did it probably about 40 minutes on 350, 375. And I just checked it often. And the way that you can do is, you can see in the picture, my peppers started to get soft and tender. So that's how I knew it was ready, and the cheese looked delicious on top. And I was like, I'm ready to eat you. Cool. So we have a short demo. It's for our spotlight recipe, which is one of my favorites. It's for protein balls. So we're gonna watch a quick little video.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Temple Talk, and we thought it would be fun for us to demo one of the recipes. So what I'm going to be making for you today is protein balls. So you might have seen this online. There's a lot of different versions. So I'm going to kind of make the one that I like to make and have fun with it. I always kind of experiment. So the one that I'm making today is something new. I've never tried this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are. So I bought almond butter instead of regular peanut butter. And what I've discovered by looking at the ingredients is definitely this is better for sodium, but it's not too far off for low sodium regular peanut butter. But for today, we're going to do that. Chia seeds is another ingredient. Regular honey. For today, I'm using almond milk. Just regular oats. And then some form of a protein powder. Okay, and so what I'm going to start off with is I have this little scooper. I would say it's about maybe 1.5 tablespoons if we were to kind of measure it out. So I'm just going to do a scoop. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in a bowl. Today I'm using Tupperware just because it'll be easy to seal, but if you have a mixing bowl, go ahead with that. Okay. Then I'm going to rinse that out because we're going to use that in a little bit.
Great.
Then the next thing that we're going to do is the almond butter. I just grabbed a spoon. Once again, this is all about having fun. Estimations. I do about 3 spoonfuls. So 1, scoop it all out. 2, and then finally 3. Scoop it on in there. And our peanut butter is done. Yummy. Okay. Then what we're going to do is our honey. Okay. What I would say about the honey, for me, I like to estimate it, but once again, if you like to know exactly, get another spoon, and I would do maybe 2 of these. Okay, just fill it up. Good little estimation. Once again, I really love honey. I swear I'm a bee. Okay, so that's that. So now we're done with the almond butter and the chia seeds. Now we're going to do a cup of the oats. So I have my measuring cup here. This one I kind of don't want to guess too much. I don't want to stick to the recipe here. A little bit more. Today we chose the protein balls just because something quick, it's easy, and it's a fun snack to have. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to bring back my scooper. I would say for almond milk, I would say this would probably be half a cup. Just doing one of these. Go ahead and pour that in there. Okay. Then our last ingredient for the day is our protein powder. Now, protein powder, you can get this from a lot of different locations. You can get them from Trader Joe's. You can get the really fancy ones from GNC, Costco. Even our local grocery stores like Ross and stuff have it. So just do your research, see what you like. Just make sure that it's not high in sugar because it tends to do that. And so what I'll do is I'll just grab another spoon and I kind of just start mixing it together. And you can already start to see that it wants to kind of mold together because that honey that we put in there plus the peanut butter really, really helps to make it sticky because eventually we want to make it into balls. You kind of just do a nice little general because one of the things you want to make sure the peanut butter is really spread out because you don't want just one ball with all the peanut butter and the other ones don't really get it. So kind of continue to stir it, make sure the ingredients are nice and spread out. Okay, see it's already starting to turn into dough, which is awesome. Play it by ear. Once again, if you're feeling like your mixture is not looking like this, you might want to add either more oats if it's too liquidy, and if it's not, then you can add, if it's too dry, you can add more almond milk, kind of play it by ear. But this milk is already looking great. Awesome. So what we're going to do, I don't like to waste, just get all that good stuff off the spoon. What we're going to do is we're going to close it. Once again, if you're doing this with the mixing bowl, you're just going to get either saran wrap or foil. Just make sure that it's tightly sealed. For me, since it's already in Tupperware, and you just put it in the fridge, and you let that sit for 30 minutes. If you want, I've done it before where I let it sit overnight. And then basically, just to show y'all, I pulled this out a couple minutes ago, and from that, I was able to make these. So just to give you an example, I'll do one right now. We're actually going to eat these later. Okay. What you're going to do, gotta get a little messy, it's okay. You're just going to take a little bit of the mixture, literally, you're just rolling it. It's like flavor. Okay. Make them in whatever size balls you like. I like them just right in the middle. Okay? If you want them bigger, you can make them bigger. But for me, I think right about here is a good size snack. So from this point, once you have them, what I like to do is I like to already have them ready to go. That's the key piece with meal prep. You want them ready to go. So you can just go ahead, grab a Ziploc bag. For me, I like to put 3 in there. 1, 2, 3. And there's your snack for the day. So I hope that you enjoy this demo, and this is our version of protein powder balls. Other things to look out for, please make sure to support our work by either purchasing our fitness towel or we have fitness shirts. So thank you again for your support. Both these items are available on our website. Please go to www.7fire8. Both of those are numbers, number 7, fire, number 8.com. Thank you so much and enjoy.
So thank you again once for learning a little bit more about how you can kickstart your healthy journey. And the first part is always the fuel that we put in our bodies. So we hope that you've discovered a new way to approach your goals in life. Once again, visit our website, which is www.7fire8.com for weekly devotional and empowerment blogs. Also a calendar for upcoming Temple Talks like today and group workouts. And we have one actually coming up tomorrow at Walker Temple AME Church from 9 to 10:30 a.m. So please join us then. And we have them every third Saturday of the month. And also, if you're looking to purchase those cool towels that we showcase and shirts, that is also available online. Please like our Instagram page at onetemplepfitness.fire and our Facebook page. Thank you so much.
And always remember that food does impact your mood, so be mindful of what you put in your body. And when you change your mind, you change your world. So have a very blessed evening. And if you're in the LA area, we hope to see you tomorrow.